Okay, everybody, got a couple more really good questions today. Do horses know if you're having a heart attack, seizure, or stroke? If so, how do they respond to it? And also, do horses know if you are pregnant, and how do they respond to pregnant women? So this is a twofold answer. Yes, so horses are extremely intuitive animals. They can literally be in tune with their owner or their guardian or companion's heartbeat. They are also very, very sensitive to hormonal changes within humans and, of course, other animals. So the answer to all of the questions about a heart attack, seizure, stroke, pregnancy, absolutely. They can certainly be aware of that. In particular, I will start with like the heart attack, seizure, stroke, etc. I will give you a very basic and much, I would say significantly decreased answer to this. I did not have a heart attack or a stroke or anything like that about a month or two ago when I was out here, but I was standing next to Wyatt, and in fact, I caught it on film. You guys can go back and look through my other posts. But I got stung by something on my arm when I was standing very close to Wyatt, and of course my blood pressure went up. I was in pain. My arm was blowing up. That thing stung me so bad that I actually had to go to the emergency room. But Wyatt, if you watch the very end of that particular video, when I got stung, it was seconds, and I started to react to it. And then, like, right before I walked away to go tend to my arm, Wyatt did a dragon snort. I mean, he did that, that thing that he does because he sensed that I was in distress. And, I didn't say anything to him. I didn't freak out. I wasn't yelling and screaming or anything like that. But I am quite certain that my heart rate probably increased and my cortisol levels changed. And he was standing, I was standing this close to him. And all of a sudden he began to react with, a fear-based, when Wyatt is afraid of something, he does that honk, that goose honk or dragon snort thing that he does. And so he immediately responded, when I got stung, he responded with fear. And now he didn't run away, but he definitely did that thing that he does, because he sensed that I was in bodily distress. So he sent up a warning that I was in distress. Now, fortunately, I've never known anybody to have a heart attack or a stroke or anything like that, near my horses in particular, or really near any horses that I have been around. But, the reaction could be twofold. They could either be far more sensitive and kind of like guard you and stay near you, or it could frighten them, So again, it kind of goes back to that. It depends on your horse. It depends on the relationship you have with your horse, and it depends on what they are going to do. Now, I have shared the story before where I was riding Shakespeare, and the people that I was with decided to take off in a full gallop, and then basically Shakespeare kind of like spooked at something in the grass, and anyway, it resulted in I ended up coming off the back of Shakespeare in just this freak accident. I came completely off of his back at a full gallop. I hit the ground. I was knocked out. I was completely knocked unconscious. And what happened was when I woke up, Shakespeare was actually standing over me. So I had come off his back, and then instead of continuing to run and leave like he could have, he stopped in his tracks, turned around, and came back, and he stood over me until I was able to regain consciousness. So, there are certain horses who will protect you. Another time I was with Shakespeare, and True and Wyatt were behind me, and I was walking in a straight line through a pasture, and they were lined up behind me in single file. So in that particular instance, Wyatt was directly behind me, True was directly behind him, and there was another horse named Sasha directly behind both of my horses. Well, Sasha was a very, very, very pushy mare. So she, I guess, thought that I had treats or something in my hand. Well, she started to push. She pushed True. True pushed Wyatt. Wyatt got scared and took off running. And he, in true Wyatt fashion, instead of thinking, he runs right through you. So he came, cantering up behind me and hit me square in the back. I mean, his chest hit me in the back. Like, this is what I felt right here, hit me. Well, he hit me so hard that, I flew. Like, I just flew through the air. I hit the ground. And Shakespeare was kind of... So, you got a picture. I'm, like, walking forward here. Those 3 horses are behind me. Shakespeare was about where that pole is right there. And I get just catapulted into the air by Wyatt. I hit the ground. I somersault. Shakespeare's off to my right. And I was so dizzy by the time I actually stopped rolling. I was just kind of laying there, and everything was spinning around me because he had hit me really, really hard. And I was literally seeing stars. So, long story short, I remember rolling on the ground and thinking, oh my God, these horses are going to trample me. They are going to come right over top of my head, and they are going to trample me, and they're going to kill me. Not on purpose, but just because, I know how Wyatt is. Wyatt doesn't think, he just runs. And then I had 2 more horses behind Wyatt. So I thought surely I was going to get trampled. Well, next thing I know, Shakespeare comes darting in because I'm on the ground. And I'm laying there trying to get my bearings and trying to get, get back to my feet before these horses get to me. Well, he comes flying over and he jumps in front of me. And he whirls on Wyatt, and he pins his ears at Wyatt, and he pinned his ears at True and Sasha, and he basically, guarded me while I was on the ground. I was underneath him. Well, not under his feet, but I was, he was, right there, and I was on his opposite side because he put himself as a barrier in front of me. And he would not let any horse get near me. And I just sat on the ground because I was seeing stars so bad. I couldn't get up. I was so dizzy I couldn't get up. And then because I hit my head, it was a pretty bad hit. So I sat on the ground while he stayed over me, and I knew that he wasn't going to let any horse near me until I was able to actually stand up and get my bearings. So then I kind of reached up and I grabbed his mane, and I put my arms around his neck, and he helped me up. And then I stood there for a minute while I regained my consciousness. Yeah, not consciousness, but I regained my bearings. And, I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, my heart rate was way up at that point in time because, it was a traumatic event. And he stayed right by my side. And then actually Wyatt and True came in to me. They wanted to come stand with me, but Shakespeare wouldn't let them because he knew that I still wasn't 100%, and he kept diving at them and pinning his ears, and he wouldn't even let my other 2 horses even near me, and let alone the rest of the herd. So, they can be very protective. When you are in an environment like that with your horses, and if you are hurt or harmed in some way, they definitely can, they sense it, and they know it, and they know you're in distress, and they will absolutely react to you. So, but again, it depends on your horse, how they react. Now, as far as the pregnancy thing, I do know that horses are very, very in tune with pregnancies. As a matter of fact, I have a friend just right across the way over there. They've got horses, and she was pregnant, big old belly pregnant, and her mare would come up to her and put her head down, next to her belly and just sniff, and she'd listen. You could see her ear turning. And since the baby has been born, she is just so gentle with that baby. She really loves that baby. So, they're generally really good with kids. Also autistic or, mentally handicapped people who might be on the spectrum, they're extremely sensitive to that. And I have found them to be very gentle and very loving. Again, this isn't true for every single horse. It depends on your horse. But Wyatt loves children. He loves children. He absolutely adores kids. There's a little girl across the street, and she always comes over to see him, and he just eats it up. He really, really, really loves kids, and he was used like for pony camp at the other farm, and just really adores it. So they're kind of just like dogs. It depends on the dog. I mean, some dogs really don't like kids and they're afraid of kids, and you know, some dogs love them. So horses are not really too different, and you know, it really just depends on how you socialize them, what you get them accustomed to, and the personality of the horse as well. So I hope that helps you guys, and please keep the questions coming, because I really love answering your questions, and it also just gives me more material, because honestly, it's kind of hard coming up with stuff every single day to post about that you guys may or may not know or may not want to know. So the questions absolutely help. So thank you for that, and enjoy this beautiful day. All right, take care.